Hello, and welcome to AWS Edge Innovation Spotlight, where we showcase how our ISV partners are revolutionizing application delivery at the edge. Today, we're exploring groundbreaking implementation and real-world success stories that demonstrate the power of Edge through our partners. My name is Ian McPherson, and I lead our media supply chain and archive business here at AWS. I'm delighted to have Adam Miller from Nomad join me today. Welcome, Adam.
Thanks, Ian. Glad to be here.
So, please tell us a little bit more about Nomad.
Yeah, so Nomad Media is a cloud-based media management solution, whether you're on the live side or the video on demand or archive media side. We're built exclusively in the AWS world, and we allow our customers to bring all their media into the cloud, whether it's audio, video, pretty much any type of media, and they can bring metadata solutions to it, live solutions to it, and ultimately get it out to their customers through the AWS content delivery networks.
So, how has that mission evolved over time?
Well, it's funny because in the beginning, we actually thought of ourselves more as a content management solution rather than media management solution. So in today's world, think of companies like Wix, for example, where you're building a website. That was actually the beginning of our journey. And we really did it out of necessity because way back when, these companies weren't very prolific at the time. They weren't a big deal, but yet we needed that technology for our customers. As time has evolved, we've realized that media, it's really what we do well. So we've sort of dropped the whole site builder type of concept, and now we've exclusively focused on the media management side, and we've also brought in a lot more around the live side as well. So really our evolution has almost been more into the AWS world, and it's really drifted away from that sort of CMS side.
I compliment you on that journey because I've seen as the market has evolved and the need for the different kinds of content to be delivered to all these different platforms, the sophistication of that underlying platform becomes really important. And you guys have done a great job in keeping up with the evolution there. So, how are you using AWS to differentiate yourself today in the market?
Well, I'll tell you, AWS really is it's the core of our solution. That a lot of our technology has to be very, very technical. So things from transcoders to live management of your live channels to your content delivery to your encoding to even down to the digital rights management, the DRM, all these fancy buzzwords. And these are things that we do not want to build. So we've been able to leverage the AWS world to take care of all these technology puzzle pieces for us. Now, I like to say that AWS provides the car parts in an analogy that I have. And so they have these, and if you think of the engine as being like the transcoder, well, we're the car. Customers come to us, they want to purchase a car, but they don't want to have to put together the car themselves. So AWS has some fantastic individual components that we put inside that car, if you will. And so we're able to then provide a wonderful car solution then to our customers.
So, in addition to the services that you include in that car, our customers also can use some of the services we natively provide. How do you help them use some of those services, and what are some of those services?
Yeah, so some of the real core ones for us are going to be technologies like Elemental Media Live, for example. So we're going to really take care of the live broadcast. On the front side of that, you might have Media Connect, which is going to bring that high quality data or a live video feed ingest. And then once the videos are done, the Media Convert side is then going to allow us to take that content and turn it into streamable versions downstream that I can now get to my customers after that live broadcast. So pretty much the whole media suite is going to be ones that are very valuable for us.
Yeah, it makes sense. So, what are some of the challenges you've had to overcome in the last year or two?
I would say by far the challenging aspect for us is the shifting landscape. It seems like every time I turn on the news, there's a whole new technology out there that we have to keep up with. The problem is that our customers' businesses are always evolving, and we have to have solutions for our customers. So our biggest challenge is staying on top of that, being able to understand how to take the various products, those engine parts, if you will, put them together in ways that our customers can now get a good value. So for us, we're constantly having to understand what's the market need, what our customers need, and how can we help solve it with those technology components.
So, the world has evolved, and we've introduced some new technology tools and components for that car, namely around AI. So, how do you see AI impacting that journey, and how have you been using it?
Boy, I tell you, AI, it's the buzzword of the day, that's for sure. Well, what's interesting for us is that we actually have been working with AI since the very beginning of the product. It's just that it didn't have many of the fancy buzzwords that are out there today. So in reality, take something like taking audio, converting it to subtitles. And that for us, otherwise known as transcription, for example, that's something that we've been doing with AWS for 7 or 8 years since the beginning. And so it just didn't have the fancy buzzwords of generative AI, even though today that's what they would classify it as. So for us, the AI journey has really been one that's been evolutionary since the beginning. So we're seeing that it's still critical to our product offering and our customers. But this new wave, the new generation of, I call it generation 2 of AI, this whole generative side, that's really taking off. And we're seeing a lot of interest from our customers. Our challenge is how do we best turn that into value for our customers and make sure that we're solving a business problem specifically for them. I think this new world of generative AI specifically is one that's going to be pretty revolutionary for us. It's going to allow us to move from the stage where we are today, which is video understanding and really being able to manage their media with our help, into something where they can now use other components of the world to enhance their media. So through generative AI and through our agentic world, using all the fancy buzzwords, we can now work with many other partners out there in the ecosystem much easier.
Yeah, and that's really critical that customers have a forward path. What they're adopting today may not be the current product du jour in the future. And you guys do a very nice job at providing that solution you can deploy today and still have forward path to tomorrow. So
Yeah.
kudos to you.
No, thank you. Appreciate that.
So what is the proudest win your company's had?
Oh, let's see. That's a tough one because it seems like every time we bring in a new customer, a new win, well, I'm proud about all of them, to be honest. I think probably the way I would answer that question, I'm going to give you a slightly different answer, is what's a customer that I'm excited about right now? And one of them is, take as an example, one of our customers is called Aspen Institute. And they've been around for a lot of years, over 70 or 80 years, I think. And one of the things that they just finished was a festival also for a strong week over the summer. And they have 6 stages and hundreds of speakers, and it's a big event. And what's really neat is that customer has the opportunity to use all of our tool set, which I'm proud about because we built all these tools for a reason. And so the idea is that they're able to do the live streaming with us. So as the stages and as the speakers are on stage, we're broadcasting it. We're actually relaying it out to YouTube and Facebook. It's all being recorded. Afterwards, they're taking the recorded versions, they're cutting them up, they're putting them out for streaming versions, for playing back later and clipping, and then even able to get to the metadata and searching in the catalogs. So for us, I'm pretty proud about that environment because it really goes from front to back using our entire stack and worked out really well this year.
And you're talking about really making current content searchable and consumable, but you've also done really nice projects on taking legacy content and archival content, making that available as well.
Yes.
Any of those examples you want to highlight?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think the key is that we bring probably many, 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 many petabytes of content to life for our customers, and they didn't even know that they had that content. We have some of our customers where they'll bring in literal boxes of hard drives and they'll put it in front of us and say, I need to search this and make it usable, whether I'm going to monetize it or distribute it. And we start to bring it to life. We show them the media that's in these boxes and on these hard drives. And these are big acronym, some of the bigger media studios today. And they get a look at it and you watch them light up as they see the media that they haven't seen in 60 years. And it's suddenly there in front of them and they can use it and they can clip it and distribute it and get other people excited. I feel like every time we can unlock a new trove of media, it's just a whole new world out there for both us and our customers.
So with all of those disparate customer use cases and customer segments, how has your go-to-market strategy evolved since you started to where you are today?
Well, it's interesting because everyone wants to ask us what's our industry. And the reality is that our industry is anyone that has media. Now, you need to have a certain amount of media for it to really be relevant in our world. But the idea is that we can bring any type of media into our world and make it searchable. We can make it discoverable, and we can also distribute it. So the types of things that we really look for in our customers are going to be ones where they have a value proposition that they can do with that type of media. What we didn't realize in the beginning from a sales perspective is that AWS would be such a strong partner. So we didn't understand that there's an entire selling team out there of all these AWS account reps that have relationships. And our relationship with AWS has evolved significantly over the years as we realize that we can go to market with them. So we can work together to solve those needs for the customer, where AWS can focus on the infrastructure and the heavy lifting and those car parts. And we can work on building the car around it. And together we can work with that account rep and those sales, really our entire partner team, and we can go to attack those various segments together and really bring a lot of value.
So in addition to evolving your go-to-market strategy, how do you see new strategies or insights that have helped you to adapt or evolve in today's environment?
So I think as long as we can understand what our customers' needs are, that's going to be the biggest driver because we take well over half of the features that we build at any given time. We're a direct result of somebody telling us this is something that we need. So we've spent a lot of time carefully listening to our customers and understanding where are the pain points. So how can we adjust not only our product, but our long-term vision and really understanding where can we play a big role in their solution and understanding how to bring that to market for them, frankly, as quickly as we can for them, but also as reliably as we can for them.
Yeah, I think our companies share that customer obsession and working backwards culture.
Yes, agreed.
So, with those customers, what are you seeing as top of mind for them right now?
Oh, that's easy. Bring down those costs and then bring down the costs more. And how can I justify, if I can't bring down the costs, how can I justify the costs? So it's primarily all about some form of being able to bring value and how can I justify that value? So for us, when you have media, this is what I find such an interesting topic because so many customers have a lot of media. It's sitting on hard drives. It might even be in the cloud already. It could be on thumb drives sitting around the office. The point is you're already paying for it. Customers already have a sunk expense in that media. It's just that most of the time it's not going anywhere. It's just sitting there just doing nothing. So by adding an extra small cost on top, I can now unlock all that content that I'm already paying for. So for us, being able to bring that cost justification of adding a little bit of cost to their solution that now unlocks the whole nother side of this, it really opens up people's eyes.
Yeah, and this is really a data story. We're talking about all kinds of content and things we could watch or consume, but at the end of the day, we're really talking about helping companies with their data strategy, aren't we?
We are, and that's where the whole CMS in our name came from. It's really just not about the video itself or the media or the images, but it's also about the surrounding metadata around it, understanding what's there and giving it context and giving it the discoverability, as I call it, which really, frankly, is where the whole world of AI has come in so handy. Long gone are the days where I have to tag every image and every video. Boy, were those fun days. Instead, let the AI handle it. Perfect use for AI, and it just brings a lot more value to your whole catalog.
And as we kind of look over the horizon on AI and we think about what agents or agentic workflows might do,
hmm
what do you think about that?
I think it's fantastic because our customers are always involved in a workflow. I call it a workflow internally. Somebody came in that morning, said, I need to get something done. And first they start with the catalog that we have. There's a big catalog of media, but it isn't just about finding the piece of media. Now that they found it, now they need to go do something with it. So being this whole agentic world, as it's being called, it really unlocks those relationships that we have with other companies. Anything from being able to take the media and get it into the Adobe world, for example, and just let the AI just handle it and say resizing the videos, resizing the media, cutting it, cropping it, doing all kinds of amazing things to the media. That's what this whole agentic world is to me, because it enables us now to bring way more value to our customers and their workflows. And yet we're getting the power of what everybody does together rather than just us as an individual company.
I couldn't have said it better myself. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for joining me today.
Wonderful. Thanks, Ian. I appreciate being here.
I really appreciate you being here, Adam. And thank you for joining me.